some would argue that this is the fastest Saucony that Saucony has made. The Saucony Endorphin Elite is obviously Saucony's answer to the Nike Alphafly Next %, designed for the fastest of the fast in all sorts of short or longer road distance races, and it comes out swinging. Starting with the upper, the Endorphin Elite features layers of strategically placed straps, mesh panels, and Titan points that make for an incredibly light and airy upper that fits far better than expected. The thick midsole is Saucony's new PWRRUN HG compound that I find leans more towards the responsive end of the spectrum. Inside is a forked carbon plate, visible through the midsole from underneath, that provides a lot of springy stiffness. A thin layer of outsole rubber keeps the feet planted on most surfaces for helping you stay fast. Now, there is so much familiar here. It feels a lot like shoes that we felt before. I'm looking right at you, Nike Alpha Next. And true to the carbon plate revolution, even the price is an outlandish $275. But does the Endorphin Elite only benefit the Elite? Or can a mid-packer like myself benefit from that springy snap? Let's find out in today's review. Ginger Runner. What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, here for another Ginger Runner review. The machine is back up and running. We have so many products to review this year. I'm very, very excited. We're going to kick things off with this. The Saucony Endorphin Elite. It is an absolute beast of a shoe that costs an arm and a leg. So hopefully you're willing to cut those off and sell them. 3 quick things before we dive into the review. First and foremost, join the GR Crew. If you want to help support this channel, help us keep those reviews coming, consider joining the GR Crew, which is a community of runners just like yourself, of all abilities, all levels, from around the world. We talk about shoes regularly. We have a Discord server. It's an amazing community. Consider becoming a member. Really cool perks. Link in the description. Second, if you're looking for that challenge to take on this year, if you saw my last video, I challenge you to do something really, really big this year. Consider jumping into Tiger Claw. We have 3 different distances. We have like a vertical ascent, 2.5 mile, 2,500 feet of vert race on Friday, and then we've got a 50K and a 50 miler. It's a doozy of a race. Choose your own adventure. It's super fun. And finally, the FTC requires that I let you know that this shoe was provided for review by Saucony. I'm under no obligation whatsoever to say anything positive or negative about this shoe. I am not financially compensated for anything that I say in this review. That is why we have the GR Crew, so we can keep everything independent. All opinions are my own. No one has to approve this review before it goes live. You're the first to see it, so congratulations. Pat yourself on the back. Let's dive in. We're going to start with the basics, the things that I like and dislike about the Saucony Endorphin Elite. Starting as always with the things that I like. Bounce. So this shoe has a lot of responsive energy and energy return happening, both from the HG midsole, that carbon plate. If you're looking to go fast and you're looking for propulsion out of a shoe, you're going to feel it under this shoe. And a lot of flexibility, and what ends up happening is you get that spring, you get that bounce, and that is something that I'm looking for in a shoe of this style. It's similar to the Alpha Next. I'd say that has a bit more cushion and softness, absorption. This is just a snappy, propulsive shoe, and it's actually pretty fun. Weight. This shoe is 8 ounces, which is pretty dang light. I want to commend Saucony on their ability to design a number of weight-saving elements. I mean, the mesh upper itself is a very, very fine, airy mesh. There's a lot of places where they actually cut out mesh elements to just help reduce weight. They carved a bit out from the midsole as well, so you're just losing weight where you need to, and you end up getting a super light, super shoe that doesn't feel like you're wearing much on the foot. It's super light. It's fast. So certainly it has a lot of bounce. I already mentioned that. But what you end up getting in this shoe is a comfortable midsole combined with that carbon plate, and it translates to speed. So even me, a mid-packer, it still helped me feel propulsive and fast. It's certainly a fun experience, and I do commend Saucony on finally giving the Nike Alpha Next % maybe a bit of a run for its money. That being said, it's not all Southern California surprise snowstorms and burrata margarita pizza parties. There are a couple of things that I dislike about the Saucony Endorphin Elite. Let's get to this now. It's not for everyone. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this review, you hope to determine whether or not this shoe will make a future purchase, or maybe this will be your race day shoe. I have to say, it is an alienating shoe, which is a bit different than the Alpha Next %. This is a bit more abrasive on the responsive end of things, so I think those who are at the front of the pack are going to be the ones that benefit most from it. I think it's a super great shoe for that caliber of runner, but again, for me, while I felt a little faster in it, I have no verifiable data that says that this is faster than, say, the Endorphin Pro or even the Endorphin Speed. It's a lot of shoe that caters to a very small percentage of runners. That's sort of a big problem that I have with something like this. And finally, price. It's a $275 shoe. It's extremely expensive. You probably know that already. If you have the coin in your pocket and you're looking at this view going, I just need to know if I need to get this shoe, you're probably already setting aside that amount, and it's not going to surprise you that it's that expensive. But at $275, you could get a pair of the Alpha Next Percents. You could get a Speedland shoe without a carbon plate. Like, there's very few shoes in the market that are at that price point, and I think there's a lot of shoes that will get you as much enjoyment out of them for half the price. So for me, that is kind of a no-go. It is just way too much money for a shoe that is very specific to a certain type of runner. That's it for likes and dislikes. So let's get to the breakdown, where I talk about the 5 major criteria of this shoe to help you determine if it is for you. We're talking about build quality, comfort, fit, price, and look. Starting with build quality, I have to say the shoe is built quite well. It's very sturdy. The materials are using hyper light. This new HG midsole, I'm going to be curious if it trickles down to other models in the Endorphin line. It's built better than anticipated. It's going to last you more than I thought. If this is your race day shoe, it'll probably last you multiple races, which is hopefully what you'd want out of a $275 shoe. Comfort, not quite as soft or absorbent as I would hope, especially as a middle of the pack runner. For a fast front of the pack runner, I think it'll be a very comfortable shoe. It's going to depend on what sort of pace you're keeping and what sort of shoe you want underfoot. Sometimes people just want that pop energy, and this is going to be a lot of that. Fit. I was surprised by the fit of the shoe. It fits better than I expected. I sort of anticipated the upper to fit a bit like the Alpha Next Percent, which I think is that shoe's weakest point. The straps and the places where this does lock down makes for a good, comfortable fit. It dials in. The heel counter, while not really there, this additional strap helps it kind of lock onto your foot. So yeah, it does what it needs to do. It's good. Price, weakest point, $275. Already talked about it. And looks, it's bold. You look at this thing and you go, oh yeah, I see it. It's not like you're gonna miss it. It looks very similar to the Next Percent, of course, as far as like bold, bright colorways. But you look a little bit closer and you realize it is the Saucony. It is a bit different. There's holes and places for it to breathe. Yeah, I don't mind the looks. You wanna go fast? Make it bright. That's it. Just gotta make your shoes brighter. Bringing us ultimately to our conclusion. I'd have to say that the Saucony Endorphin Elite is a fast shoe. If you're looking to set that PR, if you're looking to break some personal record in the marathon, half marathon, 10K, any sort of road distance that you want to break a record in, this is certainly going to be one of those shoes that you should consider. It's a bit more restrictive, responsive, and snappy than the comparatively priced Alpha Next Percent. The upper fits better than the Alpha. The midsole needs just a bit more squish to it, but ultimately I think this is a shoe that's going to benefit those who are at that 5-minute per mile pace. My big takeaway is that this feels more like a manufacturing flex from Saucony. Yeah, they can make a shoe like this, but do you need to get it? I think the Endorphin Pro 3 or the Endorphin Speed 3, those are shoes that do kind of what this shoe wants to do for a much lower price point. Save yourself some dollars, grab one of those. Save this for those who are going to be wearing them at the front of the pack because it's, you know, they're getting them for free. It's a lot of money to spend on a shoe that might get you a good day out there on race day, but that's pretty much the only time you're going to want to run in it. Which on the scale of buy, try, or why puts the Endorphin Elite squarely in the why category. There's just other options out there that I would lean towards first. But that turns the questions now over to you. Have you ever tried this shoe, or is it a shoe that you would consider, or are you an Alpha Next all the way to the grave type of person? I'm super curious, is this a shoe that you've been excited about? I know that there's other people who have reviewed this shoe and been like, it's amazing, it's gonna get you that PR. And for me, I'm like, it's just a little too much shoe for me. I'm a bit too average to really, I don't know, want to rock these. So if you have any more questions or want more information about the Endorphin Elite, links in the description. They are affiliate links. Will take you over to Running Warehouse. We get a small commission if you purchase anything at Running Warehouse, so that is a way to support the channel without costing you anything, without having to sign up anywhere. So consider using those or the Amazon links or anything like that in the description below. But honestly, really curious about what your thoughts are on this shoe. So that's it, everyone. So many reviews coming. Hope you're excited about them. Get out there, train hard, race harder, and party the hardest. I know I am. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.